Willkommen zurück bei Lamplight City. Ja, wir haben uns in der letzten Folge hier die Geisterkundler angeguckt. Ich würde fast sagen, wir gehen jetzt einmal noch mal kurz nach Hause. Und dann, ja, gucken wir mal, dass wir hier irgendwie weiterkommen. Ich möchte nämlich gerne mal wissen...
I've managed to survive the wild streets of New Britannia.
Seeing you come home always puts a smile on my face.
Ich bin mal gespannt, ob ich ihr das auch erzähle. Achso, okay. Na gut. Hat sich erledigt. Gut, dann machen wir direkt weiter. Wir gehen mal zu der Mrs. Davis. Vielleicht können wir sie jetzt irgendwas fragen über Linda.
I have some questions for
All right.
Mrs. Davis. Have you ever had Linda visit you at the Harris Manor?
Oh, no, of course not.
Then would you care to explain your note to her in the Spectre Society guest book?
Tja.
Please, Mr. Fordham, I didn't mean to lie to you. It's just that it gets so lonely by myself in the house at night. So every now and then, I invite Linda to come over for tea and some company.
I see. And when was the last time this happened?
2 nights ago? Please don't tell Mr. and Mrs. Harris, Mr. Fordham. If they found out what I was doing, they'd have me dismissed without a reference.
I won't, but I'd very much like to speak with Mrs. Walker. Do you have any idea where I can find her?
All I know is that she works as a seamstress at a shop in Lyon, but I don't know the name. I'm sorry, I can't be of any more help than that.
Okay, das heißt, wir suchen die jetzt mal.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Dann suchen wir die jetzt mal.
I'll be going now, Mrs. Davis.
May the spirits guide your path.
Boah, noch so ein Spinner. Okay, irgendwo in Lyon als... Vielleicht kann uns die Abten helfen, um die mal rauszukriegen.
Can we talk?
Go on.
Nein. Ja, das passiert, wenn wir den nochmal
Can we go over
durchgehen.
my current case?
Of course. What have you got?
Ach so, okay.
I found this torn piece of fabric at the crime scene. It's got an emblem with some initials on it.
I recognize that emblem. It's from Solomon Stitching, a little tailor shop in Lyon. My ex-husband had several jackets from there.
Sorry to dredge up old memories, but do you remember where they're located?
I believe it's on the corner of Bonneville Street and Surratt Avenue.
Fantastic. You're helpful as always, Upton.
Okay, da können wir dann nämlich auch nochmal hin.
I found this button at the crime scene. The child's nanny identified it as the eye of his stuffed bear.
Did you find the bear at the scene?
No, the kidnapper must have taken it as well.
Interesting.
Either the kidnapper is very compassionate, or it's someone who knew the child. I spoke with Henrietta Davis, the Harris family nanny.
A sensible place to start. What did she have to say?
She claims to have been unconscious when the kidnapping took place.
She must be an extremely heavy sleeper.
I don't believe so. The way she
Könnte das auch die
described it
Linda
made it sound like
gewesen
she was
sein?
drugged.
Interesting. Definitely worth looking into, I'd say.
Have you ever heard of the Spectre Society?
I think so. They're some sort of ghost hunting club, aren't they?
A spiritualist group, yes.
Don't tell me this case has taken a turn for the supernatural.
Not exactly. It's just come up as a potential lead. Are you familiar with the term metempsychosis?
No, what is it?
Apparently some mystics and philosophers maintain that it's a process whereby human and animal souls are transferred to new bodies upon death.
Fascinating. Some people have such queer ideas. What's that got to do with the kidnapping, though?
I'm not exactly sure yet.
Sometimes I'm jealous of all the odd things you detectives get to look into.
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
Okay.
That's it, I think.
then you'd better get back.
Okay, das heißt, wir haben jetzt auf jeden Fall eine neue Adresse. Genau, da nämlich. Die Stickerei. Da gehen wir jetzt erstmal hin.
Good day to you, sir. Welcome to Solomon Stitching. I'm Jonah Solomon. Please let me know if I can help you with anything.
Quite the selection, but I doubt the typical clientele of this place buys off the rack. That coat is so dull. I always prefer the ones with a bit more color. The design of that coat looks awfully
Ja,
familiar.
das sieht so aus wie die Jacken, wo der Typ immer anhatte.
The design... This guy has been in business forever. Isaac Samuels, the prime minister who freed the slaves. They say even his enemies wept on the day he died. I sure hope I get to meet him someday.
Okay,
My grandmother had one like that. I think it was meant to be relaxing, but it always felt like my time was running out. Now that it has... well, it actually is relaxing. Go figure. Impressive collection of pattern books. I wish I'd known about this guy when I was alive. I'd have asked him to make me a suit for my funeral. Judging from the position and the lock, this is likely where Mr. Solomon keeps his money.
Da muss ich da hin.
That cloth will be a garment soon. A vest, by the looks of it. Or maybe I'm completely wrong, and it's a treasure map.
Okay, dann würde ich sagen, quatschen wir mit dem Herrn Solomon.
Mr. Solomon?
Yes, sir. How may I be of service? Oh, let me guess. You're looking to replace that old coat. It looks like it's got quite a few stories it could tell me.
You should listen to the man, Miles. He clearly knows what he's talking about.
Not today, I'm afraid. There's still a few more stories it has left to tell. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Questions? Very well, but if they aren't about tailoring, I don't know how much help I'll be.
Erstmal... wir sprechen mal über Linda.
Do you by chance employ a seamstress named Linda Walker?
I do, yes.
Is she here?
No, she has the day off today, but she'll be in tomorrow.
Would it be possible to have her address?
Begging your pardon, but why should I give it to you?
Sie ist meine Schwester. Nee.
I'm a private investigator, and it's crucial to this case.
Well, as I said, she'll be here tomorrow. You can ask her then.
It really is a matter of some urgency.
I'm sure it can wait a day. But if it were really that urgent, I would think the police would be involved, not a private investigator. I'm not obligated to tell you anything, so please, let's move on before I lose my patience.
Okay, na gut.
Is there anything you can tell me about this button?
Looks like it's made of wood, not very well crafted either. Definitely not from one of my products.
Okay.
I found this piece of torn fabric with your emblem on it. Can you tell me anything about it?
Yes. Brown, wool, houndstooth. This is from one of the more popular jackets I sell.
And here I thought my ability to name ales within 5 seconds of tasting them was good. This fella has me beat.
Do you have any of them in stock currently?
Well, sure, I've got one on the display dummy over there.
Is there any way you can tell me who you've sold them to?
Oh, I don't think so. I've sold at least 20 in the past month. As I said, it's a very popular style.
Schade.
This is a nice shop you have. I never even knew it existed.
Well, better late than never, I always say. Life has a funny way of always taking us where we need to go in the end.
True. Although I think it's easy to miss out on things from time to time.
Oh, of course. It's easy to overlook the details, but in the grand scheme of things, you'll end up where you need to be. And in this case, you ended up here. So, please, feel free to take a look around. Let me know if you find anything you like.
How did you get
Ich
into
will
this
immer noch
business,
über
Mr.
Linda
Solomon?
sprechen.
I was always good with a needle and thread. When I was a boy in Poland, I would help my mother with her sewing. Then, during the war with Russia, I fixed uniforms and stitched up wounds. Not long after that, I moved to Vespuccia, settled here in New Britannia. My first shop was in the Chum, but thankfully, I was very successful and was able to move to Lyon. I won't lie to you, this location is much, much nicer. It's refreshing to not have to step over drunken hobos when I open and close the shop.
Oh, but that's part of the charm of owning a business in the Chum.
Not much else to say beyond that. My business is my life.
You seem very dedicated to your craft.
That's right. You won't see any of that newfangled steam-powered nonsense in here. Everything is done by hand and with care. I use only the finest quality materials and stitch every thread myself. And that's the way it's gonna stay as long as I'm around. It's worked for 45 years. There's no reason to change as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Auch auf den Gefallen, dass uns
Please, Mr.
rausschmeißt.
Solomon, it's extremely important that I get Mrs. Walker's address.
So you said, but why should I?
Ihr Sohn und meiner sind zusammen zur Schule gegangen. Aber ihr Sohn ist ja... Der ist ja tot. Ich versuch's.
I know I said I was a private investigator before, but there's a more delicate reason I want to speak with Mrs. Walker.
Oh?
Her son, Alexander, and mine were schoolmates. I just found a book he lent my son, and I wanted to return it. I've been trying to track her down for ages, and only just found out where she worked.
Oh, I see. It was a terrible tragedy what happened with her boy and her husband. I know how private Mrs. Walker is, but I'm sure she would appreciate you returning her son's book. All right. She lives at 403 St. Agnes Street.
Remember when you couldn't even bring yourself to trick people into thinking their shoelaces were untied? You've come a long way, Miles.
I'll be taking my leave of you now, Mr. Solomon.
Very good.
Okay.
Come to think of it, I have seen plenty of people wearing that design. No tears in this one, though.
Okay, wir wissen jetzt, wo die Linda wohnt. Dann würde ich sagen, gehen wir mal dahin. Klingelingeling. Walkers Wohnung. Wir gehen mal.
It says here that Linda Walker is in the upstairs apartment, and someone named Douglas Emafiel is under the stairs.
Dann schreiben wir doch erstmal mit E.
What? Who are you? Are you from the Steamworks?
Afraid not, sir.
Damn.
Oh, die haben die gleiche Farbe.
Oh, well, what can I do for you?
Why did you think I was from the Steamworks?
Because I contacted them a few days ago when my boiler broke, and nobody has come to repair it yet. I should have known better. Those fools always take their time, if they even bother showing up at all. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in here with nothing but cold water. If I catch pneumonia and die, you'll know who to blame.
Do you know Linda Walker?
Of course. She lives upstairs. Who's asking?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm trying to find Linda so I can speak with her.
What's your business with her?
I'm afraid that's private.
Well, she's out right now. You'll have to come back another time if you want to
Boah,
visit
wo
her.
ist die denn?
Have you got any idea when Mrs. Walker will be back?
Not for a few days. She told me she was going away for a bit. Ah, that reminds me. She asked me to water her plants while she was gone. Just need to remember where I put the spare key.
Did you say something about having a spare key to Mrs. Walker's apartment?
Sure, I'm her landlord. I look after the place when she's gone. Got a bit of a green thumb, that one, so she puts me in charge of watering her plants. The trip up is a bit of a pain, though. My hips aren't what they used to be.
I'm a private detective, and it's of the utmost importance that I get that key from you.
Right. Private detective. I don't have to do anything you say. You're not really the law. So nice try. But I'm not betraying Mrs. Walker's trust so easily.
He says that now, but I'm willing to bet he'd do it if it benefited him in some way.
Sorry to bother you, sir. I'll just be on my way.
Ich könnte ja.
Miles, what are you doing? You don't know the first thing about steam engine repair.
It can't be that hard to work out.
If you're serious about getting it fixed, I'd suggest looking for someone who knows about this sort of thing first. But if you just want to charge in blindly, be my guest.
Wir können ja nur mal gucken. Nur mal gucken.
These pipes are connected to the flue. They must heat up the water in this overgrown tea kettle. Find fuel source.
Ich hoffe nicht, dass das explodiert. Boah, wäre das scheiße. Ziel nach rechts drehen. Mhm. Oh oh, oh oh. Ui, habt ihr das gesehen?
color me impressed. You're either extremely lucky, or you've done this sort of thing before.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Ja, ich würde mal sagen, haben wir mal eben hingekriegt, oder? Hm.
Yes? What is it?
I fixed the boiler for you.
What? Are you serious? It's pretty pathetic when some yahoo off the street does a better job than the people paid to do this sort of thing. I owe you, friend.
Might I take you up on that offer and get that spare key to the apartment?
Oh, right. You said you were a private detective,
Ach,
didn't
plötzlich
you?
zählt das, oder was?
Did Mrs. Walker do something wrong? Is she in trouble?
I'm not entirely sure yet, which is why I need to take a look inside her apartment.
I see. Well, I wouldn't normally do this, but you did me a great service by fixing the boiler.
kein Thema.
I can't just give you the spare key, but I can let you into the apartment.
That'll be just fine. Thank you.
Alter.
What in the ether?
Cripes, did a tornado come through this place or what?
Looks as though she definitely left in a hurry.
Ist sie
I wonder if she
abgehauen?
planned on ever coming back.
I'll be waiting for you in the kitchen, Mr. Fordham. Just let me know when you're done looking around.
Ist sie
I don't know
abgehauen?
about you, but I'm starting to have my fill
Also,
of plants and flowers.
vielleicht mit dem Kind?
There's a handwritten note here. Valerian mixed with chamomile, sedative effects, deep sleep.
Seems Mrs. Walker's an amateur herbalist.
Maybe not so amateur. I'd love to see the look on Mrs. Davis's face if she knew it wasn't a spirit that possessed her. In fact, let's go tell her, so I can see it.
You've gotten fairly misanthropic in your death, Bill.
Have I? I hadn't noticed.
Ja klar, die hat natürlich, wahrscheinlich hat die dann so einen Schlaftrunk angemixt, um dann die Miss Davis dazu
Torn apart. She
ja,
took
also
most
umzuhauen.
everything. Well, it doesn't appear she had much to take.
Und wahrscheinlich hat die den entführt, weil, also aus Trauer halt um ihren
The books she left
Alexander.
behind are all trashy romance novels. Why wouldn't she take those? They're clearly the best ones. Torn apart. She took most I thought my apartment was messy. That bit of torn wallpaper looks almost deliberate.
Das stimmt.
What do you know? She hid a book behind the wallpaper. Looks like a journal.
5. April. Ich kann es einfach nicht glauben. Kann es sein? Beim Treffen heute Abend habe ich eine Unterhaltung mit Henriette eingefädelt. Charles Harris ist am selben Tag geboren worden, an dem Alexander gestorben ist. Und er hat auch noch blaue Augen. Ah, okay. Jetzt weiß ich, wo es hingeht. Ich weiß, dass ich nicht vorschnelle Schlüsse ziehen sollte, aber das passt einfach zu genau zum Zufall, um Zufall zu sein. Um es zu überprüfen, muss ich irgendwas von Alexander finden, was für ein Kleinkind passend ist. Vielleicht sein alter Bär? 20. April. Charles mag Barney, und zwar sehr. Henriette hat mir erzählt, dass sie noch nie erlebt hat, dass er mit solcher Freude auf eine seiner anderen Spielzeuge reagiert hat. Ich bin fest überzeugt, Charles Harris ist die Reinkarnation meines geliebten Alexanders. Ach du, endlich können wir wieder zusammen sein. Endlich kann ich ihn um Vergebung bitten. Ich muss nur einen Weg finden, ihn seinen falschen Eltern zu entwenden, ohne dass die arme Henrietta Schwierigkeiten bekommt. 24. August. Letzte Nacht hatte ich wieder den Albtraum. Alexanders Schreie, weshalb hast du das getan, Mutter, waren beinahe unerträglich. Wenn er wieder bei mir ist, kann ich ihm endlich erklären, dass ich nichts tun konnte, um ihn aufzuhalten. Thomas war ein Monster und ich war am Ende meiner Kräfte. Samuel hatte mir so sehr geholfen und es gab einfach kein Zurück mehr, nachdem er vom Kuchen gegessen hatte. Wie konnte ich ahnen, dass Alexanders Freund krank werden würde und dass er früher nach Hause käme? Quatsch, die hat den... Dabei zuzusehen, wie mein Sohn das vergiftete Mahl mit seinem Vater teilte, war das Schlimmste, was in meinem Leben passiert ist. Ich muss ihn zurückhaben. Ach du Scheiße. 6. Oktober. Endlich. Nach Monaten intensivsten Nachdenkens habe ich einen Plan. Samuels Belehrung über das Wesen der Pflanzen waren der Schlüssel. Ich werde Henrietta heute Nacht im Harris-Anwesen besuchen und werde alles vorbereiten. Es muss so aussehen, als wäre ein Einbrecher in die Kinderstube eingebrochen, als habe er dabei seinen Mantel zerrissen. 2 Nächte noch und ich habe mein Baby zurück. Ach du Kacke, dann ist die bei der eingestiegen. Beziehungsweise hat sie jetzt gedacht, dass ihr Alexander da die Reinkarnation ist. Und vor allem hat sie, weil sie ihren Mann umbringen wollte, das Essen vergiftet. Und weil ihr Sohn früher nach Hause gekommen ist, hat er auch davon gegessen und war auch... Alter. Okay.
Well, this is pretty damn incriminating.
Das ist
I'll
krass.
say. Now we just need to figure out where she's gone, as well as how she managed to drug Mrs. Davis.
Ja, im Tee.
Oh, we've got you now, Linda. Thought you could be clever and get away with the baby, did you?
Bill?
Well, you thought wrong. With Fordham and Legere on the case, the only thing you're getting is a one-way trip to jail.
Bill?
And the worst part is how sloppy she was. I mean, really? She couldn't think to pick up a button? She might as well have left a signed confession in the crib for all the good it did her.
Bill, would you just shut up, for God's sake? Huh? Is everything all right?
Yes, everything's just fine. I just stubbed my toe on the bed frame.
You ought to be more careful, Mr. Fordham.
Sorry, Miles. You know how I get when we're close to solving a case.
You always do this. I need to concentrate, and I can't hear myself think with you yapping away.
Right, sorry. I'll keep it to myself.
Thank you.
But you have to admit, she really would have saved us the trouble if...
Bill.
Right. Not another peep. As you were. It's a boy. Can't be more than 7 or 8 years old. If that's Linda's son, why would she leave this behind?
Because she thinks she's got the real thing again.
A fairly recent model. Linda must have spent a good portion of her wages on it. Nice patterns. I wonder if Linda makes all her own clothes. Well, at least that painting cheers the place up a little bit.
Ehrlich? Ich finde das voll gruselig.
These will make great evidence in Linda's trial.
Aber hallo. Also verdächtig ist auf jeden Fall diese Linda jetzt.
You're actually gonna dig through that mess?
Na klar.
I sure hope it's worth it.
So, Peter.
A receipt with yesterday's date. One-way train ticket to Pierre in Lorraine. Departed this afternoon.
Thought she could get away easy, it seems. Well, I hate to disappoint her.
Okay, dann müssen wir dahin.
A receipt with
Thought she could get...
Okay, dann würde ich sagen, gehen wir in der nächsten Folge ihr hinterher. Ich finde die Wendung ein bisschen krass. Ich bin wirklich gespannt, wie es weitergeht. Ich hoffe, ihr auch. Wir sehen uns dann in der nächsten Folge von Lamplight City. Bis dahin, auf Wiedersehen.